I decided to do my instructional material assignment for a group of second graders with students that come from other language minority group and from other backgrounds and countries. So the class will have a good mix of students that come from speaking different languages. And the book that I chose to do my report on is called Home by Carson Ellis. The reason that I chose this book is because it involves a lot of different cultures and a lot of different perspectives of the world and allows all students to be able to relate with what's being talked about in the book. It has simple pictures with simple text that help to explain it. Is kind of a mediational tool to allow the students to understand what is happening. And so no matter who is looking at the book, whether they speak English proficiently or if they're an ELL, they will be able to follow and be able to participate and grow from this assignment. By adding the pictures, the assignment or the book is also less abstract and is more concrete. The students are able to see the text and the picture and be able to make meaning of it more easily. So the activity that I wanted to do with this book to teach the literacy in a lesson would be at the end of the book, it poses a question, and that is, where's your home and where are you? So I guess I could read a little bit of the book. It says, who in the world lives here and why? This is the home of a Slovakian duchess. This is the home of a Kenyan blacksmith. And it shows a little bit of where they come from. This is the home of a Japanese businessman. This is the home of a Norse god. A babushka lives here. A Moonian lives here. A raccoon lives here. An artist lives here. This is my home and this is me. Where's your home and where are you? So after we read this book, that was just the end of it. There are a lot of different examples, and I like how not all of them are different countries or different ethnicities, but it also involves an artist or different types of people, different learners, different cultures. And so afterwards, I'll have the students reflect on the different homes that they read about in the story, and then have them reflect on their own lives and draw and write about where they come from and present it to the class. By sharing with the class, the students will make meaning of what they read in the text and be able to connect it to their own lives. I think this will be very beneficial for them because they will be able to make sense of the book and be able to recognize that it applies to me and my neighbor and my teacher, and be able to have that mutual understanding of each other. So the task that I will use using this book is that students could read the book with a partner and then share with each other what their home is like and where they come from. And so as they do this, they will be able to collaborate together and to be able to talk. This is a mediational tool to allow them to make meaning of what they're reading and to learn from their peers' thoughts and perspectives. So there are several different theories behind this task. So one of those would be constructivism is incorporated into this task because in constructivism, we all have the ability to construct our own view of the world. As children are all raised in different homes with different families and cultures, they have different perspectives of what the world is like and learn in different ways. And so by allowing the students to reflect on their home lives as they read this book and compare their home to those of others, it validates their view of the world. In constructivism, knowledge is constructed by the learner. So this allows the students to create knowledge in a way that relates to them. So Charles Sanders Peirce talked about how language is about meaning. In this lesson, I tried to allow the students to make opportunities to make meaning of the book that we are reading, Home, and apply the context to their lives. He talked about how the signifier, which many times is the text or the word, leads to the signified, which is a picture many times. And so in this book, there was the text and there was also the picture, leading to more meaning and understanding for these children. And so in the activity, the children follow Pierce's theory by reading the text and looking at the pictures in the book, and then writing in their own words on a poster or drawing their own picture that represents what they drew. And Lev Vygotsky taught a lot about social learning theories and about how the environment we create as teachers can play a big role in how a child learns and grows. And he believed that by allowing students to work in groups, they were able to expand their knowledge and through interactions with their peers and communicating with each other. So this helps the students to improve their language skills and their ability to express themselves. Chomsky also talked about confidence, measuring competence versus performance, and this activity will allow the students to show their competence, show their deeper understanding of the text, and be able to relate it to their life, apply the knowledge, and not just be graded on a multiple choice test or something that shows simply their performance, but we'll be able to understand we'll be able to gain a deeper understanding of their competence in this area. And so while doing this, while working with their peers, while reading aloud and then letting them read on their own, they will also be in the zone of proximal development. They will be able to be scaffolded. So as they share with their peers and then learn from their peers, they won't be pushed to do things that they can't handle, but they'll be able to do a little more than they would have been able to do on their own by following the examples, being given many examples by their peers, and then also examples from the book. With this activity, students might face challenges as far as having to be pushed out of their comfort zone to work with peers, and they may feel vulnerable sharing about their home, but I think that it will help them to be able to connect with the book more and to be able to connect with the activity, and it will have so much more profound effect on them, and they'll be able to remember what they are learning more. But it may be hard for some students to be able to share, especially our ELL students. Speaking can take you out of your comfort zone, and so as we put them in small groups, it'll make it more low stakes. They won't feel the pressure. They'll be able to be in a relaxed environment to do so. And another thing that students might have challenges with is that the text has a few words that are kind of difficult to understand because they come from different cultures, such as a Norse god or a Slovakian duchess or a babushka. Several words that they will have to use their context to be able to understand, which is good but may cause them to push themselves a little bit. And so the benefits that students will gain from this activity is that they will be able to make personal connections with the text and be able to apply it to their lives. Students will be able to collaborate with their peers while sharing about themselves, and it'll give them a chance to practice their oral communication skills and to receive help from their neighbors if they need help with a word or phrase. Their peers can serve as mediational tools, allowing them to push themselves and achieve more, like I said previously. And so reflecting on this this task, I thoroughly enjoyed being able to come up with a lesson for ELL students, and I think that being able to create a lesson that will appeal to all different types of children who come from different backgrounds and cultures, different levels of language skills, whether they all speak English or not, every student is different and learns differently, and so allowing them to perform in this environment where we are grading them based on their competence, not their performance, and allowing them to express themselves is really exciting, and it allows students to gain confidence in themselves as a learner and as a reader.